Hey everybody, another MultiVersus speculation video for y'all today. We're going to talk about some officially announced stuff, the current state of the most recent build of the game, and some rumors about data mines and leaks. Of course, as always, first off, a quick disclaimer. This is just a speculation video. Many of the things I talk about in these videos are just rumors and not 100% confirmed information. Just rumors of data mines and leaks already being posted and discussed elsewhere online. So don't always believe everything you hear on the internet. But conversely, in case these rumors do come true, potential spoiler warning now. Also, please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell for more MultiVersus content from this channel. Okay, so first off, we got this new tweet from MultiVersus. It says, Rick's new buddy is a little different than his usual sidekick, hashtag MultiVersus, and shows a picture of Rick and Garnet emerging from Rick's portal together. This is similar to the Finn with Jerry in the backpack tweet that we got a while back that had us guessing it might be a hint towards Gizmo riding in Billy's backpack, and we did get Gizmo next. We also got this tweet of Morty with Gizmo in a Meeseeks box. Rick uses Meeseeks in his moveset, so we were guessing it might be a hint at Rick. And of course, next, we got Rick. So, could this tweet also maybe be a hint as well? It's unconfirmed if those other tweets were actually hints, of course, at all. But let's take a stab at this one and assume it could potentially be a hint. Looking at my calendar predictions for right now, I'm thinking Stripe is probably next. Why Garnet would be used as a Stripe stand-in here, I'm not quite sure, but her slightly hunched over crouching pose here does kind of look like a Gremlins-esque crouch, I suppose. But I think if we're looking for a hint at Stripe somewhere in this tweet, it might have to do with the portal itself. Gremlins emerge from cocoons that actually glow green on the inside. So I think this might be Garnet as a Stripe stand-in emerging from a glowing green cocoon. A bit of a stretch, I know, but I got no other good guesses here that could actually fit for Stripe. And I'd be very surprised if we don't get Stripe next. Whether or not these tweets are actually hints is still unconfirmed, of course, so who knows, maybe this is just a fun tweet about Rick and his new sidekick. Anyway, potentially this could be hinting at a new Steven Universe character next, but I really doubt that's the case. I really do think it's going to be Stripe next. One decent guess is Poison Ivy, who is on our big list of potentially datamined and leaked characters, and I guess that would be because there's like vines, you can see the vines in the background of this image, but I really do think it is Stripe next, so I don't think this is a hint at Poison Ivy. If you have another character in mind that this image could be hinting at, or if you think there's another way this image could be hinting towards Stripe, let me know in the comments below. Next, we also have a potential leak from MultiVersus and WB themselves. They recently sent out another email to MultiVersus players, and if you scroll down and follow the link about variant skins, we get to this page and we have all these variant skins for characters. But among them is the Fern variant for Finn, and that skin is not yet available in the current build of the game. So there's a good chance the Fern alt costume is coming very soon. Last time MultiVersus sent out an email like this, they had a link to the game's perks page for all the signature perks for the characters. And among those signature perks were Rick's perks. Although at the time they had sent that email out, Rick had yet to be announced as the next character that would be releasing. I made a video about that, and lo and behold, Rick was indeed the next character we got. So, very good chance the Fern skin for Finn will be coming very soon since it was included in this email link. Speaking of Finn skins, Tony recently retweeted this fan-made Distant Lands adult Finn alt costume. It's like a concept art image someone made as a mock-up of Finn as an adult from the Distant Lands Adventure Time episodes. This was posted by Song Inc. Olo on Reddit. Really sweet concept for a Finn alt. If they actually made this one, I'd totally main adult Finn. Anyway, on the subject of alternate costumes, the skins from the One Giant Summer event are still available in the game. Although that event was set to end September 26th, they then pushed it back to September 27th, and yet the skins have not been removed. So they're still up there, you can still purchase them for Gleamium. I don't know when they're actually going to be taken away from us. Also, if the Luau Velma alt is taken down, Velma will not have any variants until a new one is added. Some other oddities about the current build of the game, Rick still has his Get Swifty taunt as his default, although it's supposed to cost Gleamium, but it's set as the default taunt, so you can do it even if you haven't bought it. The devs are aware of this glitch though, and it will get patched out and changed to the Moon taunt eventually. They switched which character you unlock for completing the game's tutorial from Wonder Woman to now Shaggy. I've talked about this in past videos. Although if you already completed the tutorial, you still have Wonder Woman unlocked, and the game does not automatically unlock Shaggy for you. What's strange about this is that the Wonder Woman specific daily missions are still showing up, potentially locking out newer players from completing those missions. However, if they changed this to be Shaggy specific daily missions, it could still lock out older players who have yet to unlock Shaggy, who got Wonder Woman for beating the tutorial in the past. Frankly, I'm not a big fan of the Wonder Woman specific daily missions anyway, as it forced me to play as Wonder Woman a disproportionate number of times than I would have otherwise. However, I do like the idea of having daily missions force me to play different characters besides my main. I just want some variety here and not the same character every time. While I understand they don't want to lock players out of completing missions for characters they haven't unlocked yet, and that meant that only Wonder Woman missions were being sent out as daily missions because everyone had Wonder Woman unlocked, now that the free tutorial character has been changed to Shaggy, these Wonder Woman specific missions no longer make any sense. So I'd love to see them change this up a bit. Maybe they could implement an algorithm that sends out daily missions based on which characters you personally have already unlocked. This would force me to vary up who I'm playing as, but wouldn't lock me out of completing any daily missions either. However, if that kind of user-specific algorithm would be too difficult to implement, then perhaps the simplest solution would be to tie the daily missions to the free character rotations. Have missions specific to characters, but only the free rotation characters that everyone has access to for the 2 weeks those characters are in rotation. We could get things like win a match as a mage character, instead of the only class-specific daily mission being win as a tank character, tank being Wonder Woman's class. And instead of only having Wonder Woman specific missions, every character could have specific missions, but they'd only show up while that character was in the free rotation of characters. That seems like the best solution in my opinion. And I guess I should mention the current free rotation characters are Jake, Bugs Bunny, Superman, and Arya. Also, I recently completed the Battle Pass, so I have no reason to continue to do the daily missions and seasonal milestones from now on, until the next Battle Pass starts on November 15th, because the excess Battle Pass points are completely useless to me. The devs are aware of this issue though, as Tony tweeted out today asking people for suggestions. We are looking at ways to reward those players that do missions beyond the completed Battle Pass. Personally, I think a system that converts excess Battle Pass points into gold is probably the best, most realistic option I could see them doing. Or somewhere you can cash in Battle Pass points and convert them to gold, even if the conversion rate is low, like 1,000 Battle Pass points for 100 gold or something. Also, maybe the time frame for the Battle Pass itself should be a little shorter, like 2 months long instead of 3 months long. I finished this Season 1 Battle Pass in about a month and a half, and missed a week or so of daily missions, and still have a handful of incomplete seasonal milestones. I wouldn't want to make it too daunting of a task for casual players to complete the Battle Pass though, but I think 2 months long at the rate the Battle Pass points are earned right now feels like the sweet spot to me. And then just my final comment about the oddness of the current build of the game, and then I'll get talking about more interesting stuff. I really wish I was able to check all the seasonal milestones on this screen, the end screen after a match. Once it fills up the first 6 seasonal milestones, you can't scroll through to see the newer ones. So I constantly have to go back to the Battle Pass screen to check them there. Just a little pointless to show them here if you can't scroll through them past the first 6. Okay, so in other news, MultiVersus wrote, need some tunes to do laundry to? Want music for walking your pet rock? It sure would be nice if our soundtrack was on streaming services. Maybe tomorrow is a good day for that, ... So MultiVersus music has been added to some streaming services. And MultiVersus announced their first set of ambassadors. Go check that out on their Twitter to see which content creators were chosen for that role. Alright, well, Rick is our latest character, but Tony wrote, excited about the reception for Rick, but on to the next one. So the game continues forward. Tony also said, we should probably make a few more straightforward characters. Been a pretty long string of complex characters. Assuming my prediction calendar is accurate and Stripe and Black Adam are indeed the next 2 characters, perhaps they'll be simpler to play characters than we've gotten with Morty, Gizmo, and Rick. Those have been a little complex, so maybe they'll be very straightforward with Stripe and Black Adam in their moveset and playstyle. When asked about the netcode stability of the game in its current build, Tony wrote, some of it was updated, but we're never sure how it will be for everyone. We're tracking it. Glad you are getting good matches, but lots more improvements on the horizon. That's really good to hear, because I still don't think the netcode is where it needs to be at all. So they are continuing to fix up the netcode though, so look forward to more fixes to that in the future. And Tony also has talked about other bug fixes. The game is continuing to be polished as we move forward on this game. I really think people need to keep in mind it is still technically in open beta despite being out for a while. I really think they gave it to us rather early just so that we could have the game as early as possible. We should be appreciative of that, but also understanding that the game's current state isn't exactly where it should be, especially when it comes to things like the online netcode. Okay, so now let's talk about rumored data mines and leaked stuff. So voice lines for the Joker were recently rumored to have been found in the data mines, and the voice may even be Mark Hamill himself reprising the role. Apparently some of the more notable ability-specific lines, which could give us an idea of what Joker's moveset might have, consist of these lines. Take a sniff, Batman. You might feel a little woozy. A rose for a rodent so sweet. Pick a card. Careful, this might sizzle. This trap has some bite to it. If I had to guess, I'd say those lines could refer to attacks involving things like poison gas from the flower on the Joker's suit, playing cards, chattering teeth, an electrified joy buzzer, all classic attacks the Joker has used in other things before, and I think these lines are pointing to a few of those. Rumor is, data miners are saying Stripe is likely our next character. Stripe had SFX and skins added recently, and Stripe is the only unreleased character apparently on the character select screen section of the game's code, besides Marvin the Martian. Though sadly, despite that, supposedly Marvin may not release during Season 1. There's this summary of Stripe's moveset, and it says he should be attacking with a skateboard, sawblade/sawblade missile, a gun, his tail, some sort of time bomb, kick, bite, slash. They go on to say his tail might just be a codename for some other attack, as he doesn't really have a tail, although Stripe does kind of have a small sort of tail at the base of his spine. There's like some spikes there, it sticks out a little bit, so I don't know. I went over some of Black Adam's potentially leaked moveset in a past video, but supposedly Black Adam's grab and throw are in his 3-jab combo. And another code name that's tied to the Black Adam character in the code is apparently called Punch, Aim, Ground. So I assume he punches the ground for some sort of attack. I'm picturing something like this picture of The Rock as Black Adam here, punching the ground. Also, the leaked Water Tower stage music that they played during EVO has been officially posted as part of the MultiVersus soundtrack on YouTube. And supposedly some of the yet-to-be-released ringouts I mentioned in a past video actually have 2 different versions, and they actually sound different mattering to which version. So unsure what that is exactly about or how they're going to implement those ringouts, but apparently they might have 2 different versions of the same ringouts. Someone pointed out to me that you can link your WB Games account to your Harry Potter fan club, and wondered if that being there was a good sign of Harry Potter stuff showing up at some point for MultiVersus. I believe linking the Harry Potter fan club to your WB Games account thing is for the upcoming Hogwarts Legacy game, which has you do that to be able to have your house and wand that you got in the Harry Potter fan club show up in the game. There's like, you can link what you got on that questionnaire online and actually get it in the game. But hey, Harry Potter stuff was mentioned by Huge Leaker actually, although they said it was having negotiation issues. So who knows exactly what's going on with Harry Potter stuff. I could see WB wanting to cross-promote the release of Hogwarts Legacy with MultiVersus though. But who knows if that's possible negotiation-wise or what. Apparently there was some sort of issue. In other MultiVersus news, Wiz Khalifa wrote, "Damn, they added Rick to MultiVersus. And they claim they're a beast with Taz, but Shaggy is their favorite to play currently. Pretty cool they're a MultiVersus fan, honestly wondering if they've ever watched any of my videos. That's a weird thing to think about. Anyway, they also wrote, y'all need to make me on the game. They have actually worked with Warner Brothers Records before, so maybe they will make it in. We have LeBron after all, so real people aren't out of the question for MultiVersus. Billy Brooks, a voice actor, announced he's voicing 3 characters in the DC Games universe, one being Steel. They did not specify which games they did these voices for, so MultiVersus is possible what they were talking about, but far from a guaranteed thing here. Steel would make a really cool Superman variant though. But again, they only said this for DC Games Universe, not MultiVersus, so it's not totally clear if they're going to be voicing any characters in MultiVersus or if Steel is actually going to show up here. And lastly, a class action lawsuit got filed against Warner Bros. Discovery for cooking their HBO Max numbers and misleading shareholders. The lawsuit apparently names WB Discovery's new CEO, David Zaslav. So I've talked a bit about the WB Discovery merger stuff in past videos, and how I don't like how the company's been handled recently. And I've worried about how the mishandling of the company could indirectly affect MultiVersus going forward. Hopefully this guy gets his act together and maybe the lawsuit will be a wake-up call and he'll start making better decisions with the company. Alright, well, that's everything I want to talk about in today's video. If you guys have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff I mentioned here today, leave them below.
Remember to like the video, leave a comment in the section below, and subscribe to Papa Gino's
Twitter, Patreon, Discord, Twitch.